I put so much like value and so much of my worth into like my technical ability. And I was just like, that is what I'm like good at, you know, like that is my value as an artist. Like I never thought of myself as like a creative person.
Welcome to the Gathered Arts Podcast. I'm Cass, and that's Kat. We're going to sit down with our creative community and chat about life as artists while Lee paints a portrait of our lovely guest.
I am Hayley. I am a contemporary oil painter in Toronto. I started out like studying realism and stuff and then transitioned into a more expressive sort of like abstract figurative situation. I paint very thickly, and that's a big characteristic of my work. It's also like super colorful, and I paint people, funny scenes and just things that make people happy and make people smile and are also sometimes like a little dark, but like complicated. Yeah.
Yes. I love that description.
I have never described my art that way before, but here we go.
I think that was good.
Thank
It
you.
really encapsulates like the whole, I guess, vibe of your work.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks.
we want to talk a little bit more about how you started your artistic practice and kind of how you developed from really not having a presence in Toronto to flourishing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I guess it all started like almost exactly 4 years ago when my dad passed away, because I like moved back home with my family and like I was very lost and whatever.
Right.
And I had always like prior to that really wanted to be an artist. Like that was always my dream my whole life. But I was really like, that's just never going to happen for me. I feel the way that like a lot of artists feel, you know?
Yeah,
like,
people don't feel like it's a viable career.
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, like I'm not even going to try, you know? And then once I had that like experience, I was just like, you know what, like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna like do this. Like, what do I have to lose? So then I started, and like my only sort of, I was like good technically, like naturally I was good, like a good painter, like my whole life, with like little training and stuff. And that was kind of like where I put my worth as an artist, I guess. And that's like why I wanted to be an artist. Like also I loved like the vibe of like the art world and just like, you know, like the art life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also I'm just like, oh, I'm like good. But I was like, I don't know, like what kind of work am I going to make? And like, it just felt very obviously daunting. Obviously like as an artist, there's no like clear path. And I started like painting at home. And I was getting like so frustrated and I was kind of just like, this is just not going to happen. Like I was literally thinking, I was reflecting on it this morning a lot because I was coming here, I guess. And I was just like if that girl could like see me now, she'd be like, oh my God, like
You did it.
you know what? Like things really like can happen, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really frustrated. I was just like, I knew that I wanted to like paint in a more sort of like abstract way or with more of like a style or a more naive sort of way. Like that type of work always really appealed to me, but I felt very like trapped in this box of like painting very like representationally. And I felt like in order to sort of like go past what I knew, like I would have to kind of get like really confident at like realism and learn how to do it really well. And then I could kind of like see from there where things went, you know?
Yeah.
So then eventually about like 6 months later, I ended up going to this school called the Academy of Realist Art, which is very like underrated in Toronto. I feel like more people should know about it because it really is like such an amazing place to learn technique. And people just like, I don't know, people just don't know about like ateliers and stuff. It really is like the best one in Canada for sure. And I did a workshop there. And I learned like in that workshop how to oil paint, and I met this like community, and I met the principal instructor, Fernando, and everyone. And I was just like, oh my God, this place is amazing. Like I have to be here. This is like, it just felt very like meant to be, you know? And then nothing was really going on in my life. I was living at home, and I was just like, okay, like, I guess I'll just like enroll in this school now and like make this my entire life. So I did. And it really became my entire life. Like I was there all the time. I was like fucking working my ass off. Like I was so determined. Like I just wanted to be an artist so badly. And I was like, I just know that this is what's going to get me here, you know? And I went through not all the levels. I did the program for about like 2 years, I'd say. And then slowly I was like, okay, maybe like I don't need to fully finish this program, because I'm not going to like go and like explain the whole program right now, but it is like super intense. The assignments take like a very long time. And I just felt really like ready to kind of move on and start trying to do my own thing. And then I got a studio at the school, which is still my studio now. And I started like slowly kind of like making my own work and like experimenting. And that was really scary, because especially after like spending so much time in the program where you learn that like there is such a right way to do things.
Yeah, it's very structured.
Yeah, like it's really hard to like get out of that mindset. So I was like really hard on myself, and I felt like judged by like people around me for deviating from like the course.
Yeah.
Even though like I don't think anyone was, I mean, maybe they were judging me, but I think like I was projecting a lot, because I was just like,
I'm sure
I'm doing this like weird thing in this environment where everything is so traditional, you know?
Yeah.
And then slowly started to like, at first, obviously, like any artist, like trying to develop their style, I was like extremely frustrated, and just like, I'm never going to have a style, you know, I'm never going to like, what's an artist without a style, you know, like
everyone goes through that stage.
Yeah. And like, I was just like, oh, like everyone can figure this out except for me, basically, which is just like it's just like, I don't know, going through like this whole journey has just taught me that like, it just is never the case that everybody can like do something.
No,
except for you know, like that's just really what I've learned. Anyway, eventually I started painting like very thick. I was like just very fed up. I was like, I'm so done. And I just started kind of like painting fed up. You know, I would just like paint like a little more carelessly, and then a little more carelessly. And then it was just somehow this like came out of it, and it's been going really well ever since. And that was maybe like a year and a half ago that I really like started putting like this type of work out there, and it's like gone well. So I am really happy about that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are really receiving your style in like a fresh way. It's very new for Toronto specifically.
Thank you. Yeah, I have gotten that feedback that like people feel like it's original, and like they haven't really seen anything like it before, which I think is like a big advantage of my work. And also I think, I don't know, like I see a lot of work out there that like is so gorgeous and amazing and whatever, but it's not like I feel like I rarely see work that's like so like happy and like joyful, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that is like maybe also refreshing to people, like to
it's
just
true.
be uplifted by
there's always like this stereotype of having like the sad, tormented artist.
And it's like, I'm actually just trying to like have fun and like make you laugh and make you smile and like take you to a different place that's just like, I don't know, like fun and carefree and whatever. It's not like that serious, you know?
Yeah, you definitely see that in your work.
It's just, it's not that serious. And I don't take myself that seriously. And I think that's also why it's been like good.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at first to, I guess, see people's reactions since it was such a big switch between like the highly like technical stuff to more of like your carefree take?
Extremely. Like I put so much like value and so much of my worth into like my technical ability. And I was just like, that is what I'm like good at, you know, like that is my value as an artist. Like I never thought of myself as like a creative person.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting because I was always just like, I'm going to be the girl that's like copying photos for the rest of her career and like that, you know?
You know what? I felt the same way when I started.
I think it's like probably common,
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's how you learn to paint is you're copying the photos and you don't feel as original.
Yeah.
But then when you actually develop yourself and like the confidence to show.
For sure. Exactly. Like it is that hump of just like actually just trying to do something different, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you have to
Like
start
once
somewhere.
once you start to try, like you actually just realize that like everybody probably has like something to say that is original and like everybody can be creative in their own way. But yeah, it was like an ego death, like truly, because I don't know, like I remember, for example, like at the artist project last year, it was my first time like putting myself and my work out there like on a big scale. And I remember just like standing there and just feeling like I wanted to like go up to people and be like, yeah, like this is my work, but like you should see like what I can do also. Like I'm actually a really good painter too, you know, and just
trying
like,
to prove yourself a little bit.
yeah, just like, but like I'm actually good. I don't know. And yeah, it's been, I guess, sort of just looking at like my value as an artist in a different way. And it's like good for my ego, you know? It's like, I don't know.
I feel like it's tough for, I guess, people that aren't artists to gotta understand the skill it takes to do something. Yeah. Because I feel like, I guess, a regular person, like the most technical stuff, like the most realistic stuff is what's cool to them.
Yeah, totally. And I think like, like me, like I'm also a big like people pleaser. And I feel like I want like everyone to like me and I want like everyone to like my work, you know? And I feel like when you paint realistically, it is just like the most widely impressive like thing. Yeah, you know, like everybody is gonna be like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's no
like
questioning it.
And so this is like a lot more subjective, and it's just like I need to just learn to be okay with the fact that it's not going to be for everybody. Yeah, you know. But I feel like that's when like the most interesting work is made, when you're like, it's going to be a little polarizing, but like it's also like the people who love it are gonna like really love it, and that's like it's amazing, you know.
It's the work that makes a difference, really. Where
exactly.
Realism is still like, it's beautiful and it has its place, but 100%. Abstract also.
Yeah, exactly. And like you can do amazing things with like realism. Like that's not to say that you can't. It's just that just in taking risks in general and doing something different, like you're always going to have a group of people that aren't gonna like it, and like that's fine, you know.
Yeah, that's always the case. Yeah.
Do you ever miss being able to, I guess, like show off your technical skill, or have you kind of
like sometimes, but I guess not enough to go back to it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have to completely depart from that, or could you be dabbling in both?
I think like right now I do feel like I have to completely depart from it, just because there's like only so much time in the day.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, I just have like a one-track mind. Like I'm not the type of person. I was like talking to my sister about this today. Like I need a hobby. Like I don't even like think about anything other than like my career. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, if it's not gonna be like helping me right now and like get to where I want to be, then like I'm just not gonna do it right now. We'll see. I also think that my work will evolve over time. You know, like I just really want to work on like establishing myself and like having a very strong foundation before like changing it up or trying to do something different, you know?
Yeah, I think that's completely fair.
Thanks. Yeah.
sound like super like hardworking, and you're like always like career focused. Do you find it tough to kind of have like a work-life balance then, since your mind is always kind of within your career?
I find like in terms of just like doing things, no, like I'll go out and like do stuff, get drinks, like have dinner, whatever. But I feel like in the back of my mind, it's always a thing of like, okay, and what's on the docket right now? And like, you know what I mean? And like, what am I going to do for this? And who, and like how it's just always a little bit in the back of my mind. Like it's just you know how you just have your main thing that like you go back to and think about. For me, it's just like, I'm like obsessed with this. Like,
yeah.
Understand.
And you know what? I always find that successful artists, like ones that are commercially successful, they tend to be obsessed with their art and their career and pushing further.
Yeah, I feel like I also really like think of myself and like everything as like really a brand. And so like even when I'm just doing something, I'm like, okay, like I should be making an Instagram story and like, you know, like everything is just like, not everything. Like I am like a real person, but there's always part of me that's like, okay, and how is this for the brand?
Right.
You know,
building that persona.
Yeah.
You have a clear like aesthetic.
You do.
Especially like looking at your Instagram, like I got the vibe
right
away.
Thank you. Yeah.
Does you think like social media and Instagram, like TikTok and stuff, you think that has kind of given you more pressure, or if it's like a better outlet to kind of push that brand forward?
I really only use Instagram. I sometimes use like Threads as a joke.
Nice.
Just when I have like a funny thought. Like I don't use Twitter because of just like whatever.
Elon.
Yeah. But Threads is like funny. And I'll just post like random thoughts that are like stupid.
Yeah.
But Instagram, I like love Instagram so much. I feel like it's pretty much like given me my career because I've really like leveraged it and made like a point of like, I don't know, like just creating this brand identity on Instagram, like really capitalizing on like using stories and like allowing people to like get to know me and my personality so that it's not like all about the art and it's also just like, oh, like I like her, like you know like it's like
building that connection.
Exactly. Yeah. So I really love it. It definitely sometimes like I feel like in the summer was when I started to like really use Instagram like so much. And it was like the happiest, like best time of my life. Cause like everything was just, well, not because of Instagram, but I feel like because, I was just like starting to really flourish in my career and it was really exciting and I was like posting everything, whatever. And then like I'm experiencing now this winter, like I had like a hard moment in my life and was feeling like more down.
Right.
And so that is when I was like, oh, like now I can't really be like that girl right now. I can't really be that version of myself. And that's when I was like feeling a lot of pressure sort of like, do I need to sort of manufacture this identity or can I just take a bit of a break? And it's interesting to like feel like you're factoring that into just like your life, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to consider, like keeping up a facade almost.
Yeah. And then I'm like, but my whole thing is to like be more vulnerable and stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to like feel like I'm putting on a facade. So it's like a balance of figuring that out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the vulnerable moments would help people connect to you even more.
Exactly.
Though, to be honest.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I think you're probably right.
I want to say I really like your threads. Actually, you know what? I registered and started posting because of you. Really? I was like, those thoughts are so random, and I started posting my random thoughts.
Post the most random stuff.
But I'm not as consistent nearly as you.
It's so dumb.
I did randomly raise my hand.
It's not a classroom. You just start talking. I
Wait.
This one easier or harder than Robin? We wanted to talk a bit about some of like the highs and lows of the artist life and like career, since there's so many like emotions that kind of go into it.
Totally.
And sometimes when we're so focused on doing a good job, we kind of brush to the side. But I think it's good to kind of look back, reflect, and see where things worked out, where things kind of didn't do that well, and see how we can, I guess, move forward.
Yeah.
With such a judgmental like career and like audience space, how do you kind of deal with people's, I guess, reactions to your work?
Yeah, it's tough. Like I've like, even going back, it's funny. I think of like my high school art teacher and how she would like tell me that I was just so bad at taking criticism. Like,
oh, that's so rude.
I know, no, but she was amazing.
Okay.
Shout out. she was right.
Okay.
And what I've realized is that I don't know. I feel like going through this whole thing, yes, there have been like hard moments where it is really hard for me to take the criticism and stuff. And even, for example, like the other day I met with like a gallerist who I'm going to be working with soon.
Congrats.
And, like,
that's big.
you. Yeah. Well, just like on a show, but yeah.
Yeah. Still.
And she very, like, rightly so, was just like telling me like, oh yeah, I feel like this would work in the gallery. And I feel like this maybe wouldn't as much. And like, maybe we would want like something more like this, and just like pointing to like my pieces and kind of like, which is like, yeah, of course, like she's going to do that. But in the moment, I'm just feeling like, I don't know, it just like made me feel so bad, because I was like, oh, she doesn't like this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like it's really easy to focus on like the negative things a lot. I feel like in the beginning, especially with like all my insecurity surrounding just doing something different and new, like stuff would get to me a lot.
Yeah.
And like definitely still does. But I feel like the more that people like respond to my work, and the more that people like it, and the more like opportunities I get, and the more commissions I get, the more shows and whatever, I'm like, okay, like somebody likes this, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's the important part.
You know, like it doesn't weigh as heavily on me. I feel like when I am also just like feeling good and like things are going well in my life, like it's easy for me. Not that I'm like getting like hate, you know what I mean? Like, but it's easier to like tune out people's opinions maybe. But
yeah,
when I'm in more of like an insecure place, or just like a little more down, I'll take everything really personally. So yeah, it's hard to deal with, but it's definitely important. I mean, I'm like not in a position of somebody who went to like OCAD, for example, and like was like in these critique sessions, you know, like I have never experienced that, you know? So, and I'm just really like on my own, just like doing it, and like, like, so I'm getting used to it. And it just, the more that shit happens, the more that I like am forced to just be like, okay, like you need to be an island. Somebody the other day, like when I was feeling down, was like, you like, cause whatever. She was like, you need to just be an island that like nobody can get to, and like you need to be so solid and like yourself and like what you're doing,
just be grounded
and believe in yourself so much that like nobody can like even get on your island. Like you're just like, okay, I don't care.
I feel like you're already there though. Like when I look at you, you're always like, yeah, I got this shit. Like we're good.
Sometimes like, yes.
Yeah.
But then I also like, sometimes I'm not like feeling myself as much, and I'm just like nervous. And like, for example, also I had like a very successful show in the summer, and like I had like a lot of commissions coming in, and then in like December things started to like slow down a little bit for me, and I started to like really panic, and I was like, that was all a fluke, you know, like nothing's ever gonna happen for me again. So like those are other highs and lows, you know, just like the highs and lows of the business itself. And like I'm really learning how to just like trust that there can be slow times, but like that doesn't mean that like everything is just going away, you know? I think that's like the life of any like business owner or like freelancer even. Like you're just kind of like, you just have to have the faith that like it's all gonna keep going, you know?
I mean, it comes in waves. Like even emotionally, your confidence comes in waves.
100%.
And like you said, it's a business. And a lot of people don't really take that perspective of art, that it's like you're building a business, you're trying to sell your work and your ideas, really. Like it's not just about making money. It's about being able to sell yourself to have these concepts out there.
100%. It's everything. Like obviously you have to, like first and foremost, you're an artist. You have to like believe in the work and love the work. And like, if you're going to start any business, like maybe if you're just a business person, like being an artist isn't necessarily the one you're going to choose, you know?
No, you're not going to make a lot of money that way.
Or like maybe like if you don't, like, why would you be doing it? But, I think then it's like a pretty close second is like, you're like marketing the shit out of yourself and like your art and your business, you know, you have to. And I love all of it. So I feel like I'm lucky that I'm not one of those people that's just like sitting in my studio being like, I hope somebody like discovers me, you know? I'm just like, no, I love like, it feels like a game, you know, like just getting the next thing, like getting to the next level. Like it's just fun.
I mean, that's something, sorry, Cass, but that's something I actually learned from you is just like putting yourself out there and really going for it. And like, if you don't search for it, it's not going to come to you. You have to actually go and put effort into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like like you have to just be vulnerable, like send a million emails, talk to a million people, like, and eventually something is going to happen, you know?
Yeah, you'll get a million no's and that one yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you just never stop, like something is going to happen, you know? So
that's a great mindset.
It's true. Like, I don't know, like a lot of people give up. Like, I feel like the majority of people give up. So if you just have the advantage of like, that's like already a huge advantage that you have, you know?
Yeah.
Were you always like super proactive with kind of putting yourself out there, like even in school or like as when you were a kid? Or is this something that you learned recently?
So I went to school for art history at McGill, and I like when I made that decision, like I really wanted to go to like get a fine arts degree and stuff, but I was just too nervous, and I was like, okay, I'll get a BA. And I was like just so not into it. I love art obviously, and I love knowing like artists throughout history and like the history of art. But I'm not a person who is like even just the way that I'm describing my own work, you know, it's not that serious. Like I'm not. And so especially at McGill, I mean, I obviously don't have anything to compare it to, but like I've spoken to people who took other like programs, and it seems like McGill was very particularly like every symbol and every piece and like and like just I think being an artist in that environment, I was just like, this is so stupid. Like none of this actually like was intended in that way, you know? So
would you describe it as stifling in ways to be in that kind of environment?
It was stifling because it just wasn't what I wanted. And I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, this is just, it's so like close kind of to like being what I want to do. But I'm just like with like this whole group of people that I like don't feel connected to. I don't relate to. I don't care about writing essays. I'm not that good at it. I'm not like studying for my exams. I'm just like getting stoned before class. I don't care, you know, like I literally just did not care. And then, I didn't like, I just wanted to like always be doing something more like hands-on and like creative. I was not one to be like in the library. At all.
Looking back at some of your highest highs and moments where you were like, I made it, what do you think led to those moments? And how do you kind of keep pushing to get those?
Yeah. It's like one thing just like always leads to the next. So I don't really know exactly, but I think like one big thing for me, my like first exciting thing was having that show at She Said that you like reached out to me about.
I can't believe that was your like first show.
I know.
Like you were so organized too.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. And that was like really exciting. And then from there, I don't know. And then I guess like the artist project was another big thing that like got me like attention and like eyes and stuff like that. I don't know. Like I feel like things have like after like the initial kind of stage of like doing a lot of outreach and networking and whatever, which like is so vague. Like what does that even mean? Just like outreach and networking. I guess like emailing people, like like I had one day where I sent like 50 emails to like all different galleries and then and then I like didn't hear back from most people, but I heard back from a few. One of them was like Tacit Collective, which was like a really big thing for me because it kind of like introduced me to a lot of like the Toronto like art community, like I don't know, like a bunch of people that I just like would never have known without it, or at least not for a longer time probably. And then just like slowly started doing like little shows, which have kind of snowballed into some people asking me to do things or me continuing to reach out to people. And I guess like also going to shows and having like a genuine interest in like what other people are doing, getting to know different artists, like just asking people to like go for a drink or whatever. Like really, I think just having like a genuine interest in it and like really loving it, like it doesn't feel like it's a tough thing for me to do or something that I need to put too much thought into. And then just being strategic in like who I'm approaching and what I feel like would be like a good next step for like a show that I want to do or something like that. But I do feel like a lot of things have happened like relatively organically for me.
When you say organically, do you mean people coming to you?
Yeah, coming to me and like then like through one thing, like somebody will find me and like follow me on Instagram. And then because they like followed me on Instagram, I'll reach out to them or like, you know, stuff like that. And I feel like the more like in the beginning, I was just like, I'm just going to do anything I can do, you know, like apply for like a million shows and just try to do everything. And then I think the more that I do that, the more that I like met people and the more like when something's happening, somebody will like think of me first, you know what I mean? And just kind of also trying to just like, also like part of my sort of like Instagram strategy is to be very like sort of attention seeking and like make sure that like everybody is like become sort of like unignorable in a way that like you just are like, why do I keep hearing that girl's name? Like, why does it feel like she's everywhere, you know?
It's like recognizable.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to like become a bit of like a name that people know, I guess. But I don't know. I DM a lot of people.
Yeah.
I really
that's
do.
fair.
You just gotta get used to it.
Do you find DM is better than like emailing people, like galleries?
For me, like it depends. I think it depends on like the gallery. Like for example, like I'm working with like this gallery in LA, Lobster Club, which is like a really cool gallery that I really like wanted to be part of like so badly. And because they're like a little more like casual, I DM them and like that went over well. Like I feel like if I feel like a gallery is like younger,
you
know
can tell.
what I mean? Like more run by like a younger person, social media savvy, whatever, you definitely can tell. I'll DM them and I'll email like a bigger gallery that's like maybe older or like you can just tell the difference for some reason. I don't know why. But I feel like also in just like my sort of like branding as an artist, like I try to be very like casual with like the way that I present myself and like my interactions and stuff. So I feel like I can just sometimes like maybe it is better and like more brand aligned to like just send like a very casual DM to somebody and like make it feel like, oh, we're just like friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like for me, I would prefer to DM. I like to keep everything in the DMs.
Fair. Yeah. And honestly, like your Instagram profile is like your portfolio anyway.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, it's just a whole extra step to have to email and like attach another portfolio. Like 100%. It's not worth it most of the time.
Yeah. And like, I wouldn't even know like where to begin in making a portfolio. So I like, yeah, I'm just not, I'm just not doing that. I'm really like not tech savvy in any way. Every like document that I make is literally on Microsoft Word.
Oh yeah.
It just works. Looks so bad. Like, but yeah, Instagram is like really, really good for me. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the main goal with, I guess, marketing yourself to get into more shows, or is there like, what's the overarching kind of goal for your career?
Yeah, I think for me, it depends. Like there's a couple goals. I feel like the overall goal, just like the big umbrella goal, is to like make enough money that I can like keep doing this, you know what I mean? And just like keep making more and more money. So like, how do you do that? So like a big part of it is like getting commissions. So there's that goal, but then there's the goal of like also being in shows and like the prospect of being signed with like a big gallery or whatever. And that is another avenue to like making money and growing your career. So it really just exposure in like every realm, I guess. And yeah.
Do you ever have to, I guess, deal with feelings of jealousy? Because since there's so much like posting on Instagram,
I know, for
and you
sure.
can see what everybody's doing at all times.
Like, I mean, like everyone puts on a facade on Instagram too.
100%,
so, like,
and everything just seems so good. I think again, like I was saying earlier, it depends on like where I'm at with myself. You know, I feel like I am a huge proponent of just like everybody support each other, and that is ultimately just like what's going to make you feel good, what's going to make them feel good. It's better for everybody. Like there's opportunities for everyone. But then if I'm like feeling down on myself and I go on Instagram and I see like, oh, this person's having this like amazing thing happen to them, I'm just like, I'll start. It's not even like about them. It's obviously just more like, oh, like I'm a piece of shit. Like, you know, like, oh, why is that not happening to me? But I think overall not. Like, I feel like I used to be a much more jealous person before I started like seeing a bit of success, and also just realizing that like somebody buying my art is like not necessarily going to buy like somebody else, you know, like it's also different. It's not like we're all like selling the same thing, you know? So I feel like that takes a little bit of the like personal kind of aspect out of it. And then also, yeah, like I started this thing on Instagram, this Instagram account called Artists for Self-Esteem, which is basically trying to like combat that whole like jealousy component. And like it's a community for like artists to share like good things that happen to them and like have everybody kind of come in and like lift them up for it and celebrate it and stuff like that, because I feel like the art community is definitely one that can like breed competition and jealousy because people feel like there aren't like enough spots and stuff like that. But I just don't think that that's like the answer. It just doesn't make anybody feel good. And I feel like if we all like come together, that is
the ultimate goal.
You know, like it really is. It's easier said than done.
It is,
you know, because I think it's very human to just see what somebody else has and you're like, oh, why isn't that me? But I think it's a lot more effective to just channel that into like, okay, well then I'm just going to work harder and like, you know, and just do something else that's great. You know, there's like, I don't know, like it seems like there's not that many opportunities but like there really are. Like there's a million galleries, there's a million like residencies, there's a million people that want to commission paintings, you know, like it's just finding what is best for you. And I just believe that if I am also like spiritual and like, I just think that if you are on like the right path and doing like what you're kind of supposed to be doing, like everything will just kind of work out. And I think like having that attitude is really good. I think people can like feel that energy of like
you can feel that kind of like positivity,
you know,
coming off
and
someone.
like confidence and just like, okay, like, it's like it's a
it's how you like carry yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you believe in yourself. So I just think if you're carrying yourself like you're scared and like jealous, then like everybody's gonna be like, hey, I don't want to like be around you, you know? And if you're carrying yourself like you are confident and like happy for everyone, then it's like, okay, you know what? Like, love her. Like, let's give her more opportunities, you know?
Yeah.
So selfish
and
too.
You know what? I actually love what you made, like that Instagram community.
Thank you.
I find like you don't really get to celebrate the little wins. And I think that's something that's really highlighted in what you do is like, oh, I just sold a painting or I just have like 4,000 followers now on Instagram.
Exactly.
Like something small.
Just, and then everybody, like it's such a nice community. Everybody is genuinely so excited for each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really nice and I really do want to do a meetup soon.
You should.
I'm going to plan that. Yeah. I was planning it and then I like dropped the ball a bit, but
Life gets busy.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I guess go follow Hayley's Instagram account. It's for Artists for Self-Esteem.
Artists for Self-Esteem. Yeah. At Artists for Self-Esteem.
Okay. We have a little surprise for you.
Surprise?
We're going to be doing a little game. So we heard through our research that you call yourself a colorist.
I do.
We thought was really interesting.
Which is so pretentious.
No, I think it's fun. So we have a little game here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving these colors.
Okay, so our color matching mini game.
Oh my God.
Lee went to the paint store and picked up a bunch of paint chips.
It's so cute.
And we're going to get you to match the names to the color, just kind of based off vibes.
Perfect.
And
stunning.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It matches my socks.
Yes.
Okay. So right off the bat, I'm feeling like Little Princess is this.
Yeah. Interesting.
When am I going to find out after?
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
We'll flip them all over.
Okay. This is just an order of the names that I like also. Okay. I feel like Hot Gossip. Wait, hold on, actually. Heartbreaker. Yeah. This is kind of tough. Okay, maybe Glamorous is this.
Okay.
And then,
what's going through your mind right now?
I'm just really getting the vibe. Like I'll see one, I'm like, oh, this is that. But then I'm like, but it could also be that. Okay, maybe Hot Gossip. I want to say it's this.
Ooh, I mean that's a very like hot red color.
Know, but then I'm kind of debating about 100 miles an hour. Maybe that would be this. I'm just gonna really go with my gut.
Yeah.
I can't overthink this too much.
Yeah, you're making confident moves.
Yeah, I think Sugar Poppy is maybe one of the coral ones. Like maybe this. I think. Okay, maybe No More Drama is purple. I don't know why. Heartbreaker, I want to say, is red. And then Flirt Alert. I feel like none of these are right. Like, what are the odds of me even having gotten one right? Flirt Alert. This one. And then XOXO is this. And I'll tell you my two favorite ones.
Okay, yeah.
This one and that one.
Hot Gossip and Little Princess.
And Glamorous, actually, too.
Yeah, those were like the ones you went to first.
Yeah.
So
those are the ones I felt most sure of. Little Princess, I'm like, if that's wrong, then I'm not a colorist.
You're going to quit. Okay. So Hot Gossip is, let's see if I can read it. That one's 100 miles per hour.
Okay, that is what I was debating, guys.
That's pretty close, though.
Right?
Okay, the next one, No More Drama is actually XOXO.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Not going well.
Little Princess is Little Princess.
Yes.
Not too bad. We got one right. Glamorous is Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker here.
I know, like physically.
Yeah. Is, what's this one? No More Drama.
Oh my God, this is a mess.
What?
They're just all shuffled. It's okay. XOXO is actually Hot Gossip.
Damn it.
And then 100 miles per hour is Flirt Alert. I kind of
I
get
only
that
got
though.
one right. Oh, maybe I got Sugar Poppy right, actually.
That
right?
Glamorous was marked as Flirt Alert. Okay. And the last one, Sugar Poppy, is Sugar Poppy.
You know what?
Nice.
2 out of 9
Yeah, not bad at
is
all.
not bad.
We did kind of challenge you with all the colors being pretty similar.
And also, I feel like I was so confident about Little Princess.
Yeah.
And it was right. So
yeah.
I feel good about that.
Nice. Okay.
Really good game, guys.
I feel like that's a good ratio.
You think?
Yeah.
I couldn't get one.
You're not a colorist.
You're right. I'm not a colorist.
I'm
You're
kidding.
right.
No, you
Yeah.
are. You
I
are
use
a
like 3
colorist.
colors.
I
I'm
know,
fine.
but those colors you use are very
Yeah.
strong.
Iconic colors.
Yeah,
Come on, Kat. Look
extremely.
at this. Look at this.
Yeah, I want to talk about branding.
Either way, fun game.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well done.
I would.
Yes.
I could play this all night. Oh, you guys don't have it?
No, we don't have.
Wow.
Whoa.
Look, that's amazing. That's so neat.
What?
How do you feel about it?
It's all right.
It's great.
It's your word. You say everything's all
I know.
No, sometimes I say it's shit.
Yeah, you do that. Is being a full-time artist what you imagined?
Yeah. Like
Really?
Yeah.
That's not the answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's really fun. There are times that are like stressful for sure, but yeah, it's really good. Like I really
Yeah.
like it. I think it is what I imagined and like getting better. I don't know.
What exactly were you imagining? Like when you were a kid and you said you wanted to be a full-time
Yeah.
artist, what was in your head?
Well, I guess like what I imagined when I was a kid. You know what? Maybe it wasn't exactly what I imagined like as a kid. I think
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I think as a kid I was like I'm going to be like traveling around and like you know what I mean? And like I pictured myself literally being like I don't know, like Picasso, like his lifestyle, you know.
With like a beret.
Yeah. And that stuff will come, but I just think maybe like a more sort of like an older version of myself imagining just like the happiness that I could get from like doing this as a career and like how rewarding it is, like that aspect is like better than I imagined, you know? Yeah.
It's like shifting your focus a little bit. It's not really on the
yeah,
lifestyle per se. It's more like the mentality behind it.
exactly. It's more just, it's less maybe like superficial and more just
Yeah.
like, I'm just like proud of myself a lot because it's like something that I like never thought.
So wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I like all worked
Thank
out.
you.
Like that's awesome.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I am pretty confident I will not be making any career pivots. Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to create realistic art or more abstract pieces?
I think they're hard in different ways. Like, I think that with realism, obviously it's technically hard. You have something that you are trying to like recreate, and like any deviation from like the reality can like definitely throw it off a lot. But then I don't know, like for me and the way that I approached it, I just feel like emotionally the sort of like more abstract stuff that I do is harder because it's more about like my mind and like who I am, and it's more vulnerable, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's less about like there's no objective thing to like get wrong or right, but like people's opinions and just tastes come into it. So it's more like risky and scary. So they're hard in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
So would you start the same way that you did, or would you, if you had the chance to go back, would you have taken a different route?
No, I wouldn't change anything.
No.
Yes, like if I actually was doing it all again, I would like go to art school and like whatever. But then I'm like, would things have actually ended up exactly this way? Like probably not. And I just think that like I'm really a person that tries to really have no regrets and just appreciate like everything that's happened and the way that that has all contributed to where I am now. So I don't look back.
I mean, it all compounds,
exactly.
Right?
Like every experience I've had has like led me here. So I'm not, who knows where I'd be if I, like, I think about if I had like gone to art school for undergrad, let's say, like maybe I would have been too immature to like really take it seriously. And I would have like given up on that dream earlier. Like, you know, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of art school, what's your opinion? I know you didn't technically go to art school, but you do know a lot of people who have shared their experiences.
It's hard for me to have an opinion because I didn't. Yeah. I feel like if you're talking about like the OCAD model of an art school.
Like very specific, this is fine art, this is the route you're taking.
I've heard like mostly kind of like bad things about it, honestly.
I will say people at OCAD hate OCAD all the time.
People at OCAD definitely do, especially like when people from OCAD would come to like the Academy of Realist Art.
Yes.
I feel like also the people from OCAD that are seeking out what they do at ARA that's a person who probably isn't getting their needs fulfilled at OCAD, you
exactly.
know? You're not learning any like practical technical skills. If like from my understanding.
You're not.
Yeah. I often think that maybe it would be more beneficial for artists to go to business school than art school, honestly, because I don't know, like I had the experience of like, what is the objective of art school? You're getting the critique and like the teachers are like leading you to find out what your style is and stuff like that. But I just feel like now with like the artistic community you can have and build on like online and just like, I don't know, like I guess just like as a person that didn't have that and like is doing pretty well, like I'm just like, why would I need that? I would rather have like skills for like marketing myself and
completely
like
fair
understanding how to run a business and like the more practical elements of that, you know? But I'm sure a lot of people like also got so much out of art school. Like, I don't know. But that's just from the outside what it seems to me.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no shade.
Yeah, we all have different goals and like different things we have to work on. So
totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of marketing yourself and like the role social media kind of takes, I find for artists, they either totally like take out their personal life or they'll like integrate some of it within their art.
For sure.
And you've kind of taken the route of showing a bit of your personal life within your paintings. I guess, how do you feel about the two, like comparing those two tactics?
Yeah, it's interesting. I really respect like both. And sometimes I look at people that don't show any of their personal lives and I'm like, oh, that's like nice. And like,
it's so mysterious.
Probably way more like, I know, and like more professional and like more serious and whatever. But for me, I personally like just because I also like love artists and just like the history of like artists as people. And I just find it so interesting to like get to know artists via their social media. And like, I love doing that too. Like I just feel like you connect with somebody's work more when you know them, you like them, and like
You do.
you know.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what I've heard from successful selling artists is that people are buying your art because of you.
Yeah.
Not because they fell in love with the painting. Not to say they don't love the painting,
sure.
but it's that like personality.
It's part of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a similar way with like other types of brands too. You know, I feel like there can like nothing's really like coming to mind, but there can be like a brand where like you really, you know, they show a lot of behind the scenes and like the founder and like whatever, you know, and you're just like, oh, that's so interesting versus just like this like kind of like, who is this person? And that's just my curiosity. Like I want to know what's behind it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there a pressure to kind of live a lifestyle that fits aesthetically within your art since you are kind of integrating it?
I think so, yeah. I feel like I need to sometimes be doing something like interesting or chic and like, yeah, just be doing something and not just like rotting in bed all the time because like that's not very interesting, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I like go out of my way to do things just to like appease my Instagram audience. But I definitely, it helps when I'm like, oh, I have like a bunch of plans this weekend, you know? Yeah.
I feel like it also kind of like solidifies the plans and like makes it feel more of like an accomplishment in ways.
Yeah. Yeah. In a weird way, maybe. It's
like, maybe that's not healthy. Maybe you shouldn't think like that.
I know. It's weird. It all gets really like wrapped up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am glad that I'm not a person who needs to take like very aesthetic like videos and photos of like everything I do, you know. I feel like that is a particular niche that would be really draining for me. I just like when I'm out, I just like take a photo of like whatever and post it. And yeah.
This is more of a random hot take, but do you know Pantone's color of the year
for 2025?
No.
It's mocha mousse, which is like a brownish color.
Yes.
Can I get your opinion on that?
Can I see it?
It's like a taupey brown.
Do you want to pull it up?
I'll try real quick.
Yeah.
I have
like a cream brown.
Oh, really?
I think like, you know, like when you put cream in coffee, I think it's more like that.
Yeah, that's not very exciting, but I think every color like has its place. It's not my favorite color by any means, but it's very basic. Like I feel like you'd see that maybe in a lot of like contemporary like interior design. It's not my favorite color. It's a little boring.
Do you follow the like color of the year kind of talk?
No, I really don't. But I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know mocha mousse.
No. What was 2024's?
I could not tell you that.
I feel like it was purple. Am I crazy?
Maybe. Like a dark purple or something? Or no? I don't know.
Lee, do you know?
No, I actually have a question. So different company name different colors of the year?
Pantone names the color. I think it's just Pantone.
Did you saw my story from yesterday?
No.
The color of the year from the other paint brand is called Rumors.
Oh yeah. So when he was getting the paint chips, he was trying to like tell us what the brand was. And what was it?
I didn't.
Rumors.
Oh, was it like a pink?
Yeah, that's the name of the color. Oh. It's like
depends on the brand, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah. But I wonder how they it's probably so random.
Yeah.
They're just like, you know, blindly picking
maybe
something.
Not with Pantone. Like maybe they are actually doing some research, but I feel like
it's Time's Person of the Year, right? Like it's very subjective and it's based on like culture and so many different like societal things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lee, would you like to come in and show us your finished painting?
Okay.
Woo!
Amazing.
How do you feel,
so
Lee?
Good.
It's all right.
Always all right.
Yeah.
I guess the ultimate question is, Hayley, how do you feel? Does it encapsulate you.
I think so. It's so good. It's beautiful. You killed it.
Thanks.
So humble.
Yeah. So that's the end of our time together.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming onto our show and sharing your experiences
with us.
having
me.
If you'd like to take a moment to share your socials, and if you have any upcoming projects that you want to tell the audience about.
Yeah. So my Instagram is just my name, Hayley Axelrad. That's pretty much it. What do I have coming up? I have like some shows coming up.
Exciting.
Is that I'm not gonna like plug each individual show. Just follow me on Instagram and you'll see everything I have going on. Like that really is the main plug. You'll see.
Yeah, that's it for this episode of the Gathered Arts podcast. If you want to follow CLK, you can find us on Instagram at clk.to or clkco.ca. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
This was truly so fun and an honor.